going to go back to England versus Argentina then. Tom versus Nicolas was a draw. 1 point was secured, which it means if Yago or Tekkz win this game, they will send their nation through to the semi-finals.
It really is as simple as that. And Tekkz has won the ball high up the pitch here with Vieira. Loves to play this high-pressing game. Ronaldo flicks the ball up towards the back post. Ronaldo's there, but just gets under the flight of the ball.
Yeah, Time Green almost too aggressive with the header. It's seen Cristiano Ronaldo there. Doesn't even win a corner either, which means Yago can just take a little minute to reset. Look at the pressure being applied from Tekkz. It does mean in this matchup, the only way we'd see a 2v2 would be if these two players also draw their matchup on the Xbox.
Mbappe's away here for Yago and Argentina, looking to spoil the party. Mbappe towards the back post. Ronaldo's there and he scored! Argentina take the lead! And a well-placed header there from Ronaldo beats the goalkeeper movement of Tekkz. And England are on the back foot.
Ronaldo couldn't make the header at one side, but then does at the other. France versus Brazil. More action going on elsewhere, and it's France going forward. A victory here would, of course, guarantee themselves a spot in the semi-finals, and a beautiful turn from Tekkz. I wonder if we'll see any more finger-wagging celebrations from him today.
No reaction there from Dax. He knows he's got a job to do. It's only a lead. It's not 3 points. And he has put France within striking distance now of a semi-final place.
Well, can we see Tekkz get back into this? Tekkz, who has always reached a semi-final in every competition so far this season.
Can he keep that record up? Great tackle there from Yago. If you're wondering how the knockouts work, you can see that explained at the bottom of your screen as well as it scrolls by. But at half-time here, that 45 minutes flew by. And Argentina, 45 minutes away here from booking themselves a spot in the semi-final and sending England home.
Of course, because points is going to come into the equation for many of these quarterfinals, I'm sure, but slightly simplified with Argentina versus England. It's just winner go through between Tekkz and Yago. However, if Tekkz were to equalise, then we would go to a 2v2 if it were a draw. And Tekkz is used to being behind. I will say that. In the majority of his games in recent competitions, he goes a goal down, sometimes 2 goals down, and then always seems to get back into it. Can he do it with 3 lions on his shirt?
Also, the only problem is he's only got 45 minutes in game to do so. And Argentina, I don't want to say they've got 1 foot in the semi-finals at the moment, but they've certainly got a pinky toe.
Small discussions between these two. But if you're wondering how the knockout stages work, just watch this.
Each knockout game consists of a 1v1 leg on each console, but aggregate scores have no bearing on the result, as each leg is worth 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and 0 points for a loss. If after 2 legs these points are tied, a third deciding 2v2 game will be played.
So that's exactly how the knockouts are going to work, and we're back into the action now. Tekkz on the attack here for England, 1 down. Ball falls to Mbappe. Tries to dig the ball into the box there to find R9, and Yago can come away with possession now. Game management going to be a huge, huge factor now for Yago, because if he wins this game, Argentina are through. No need for the 2v2. Tekkz has got to be the aggressor. And winning the ball back high up the pitch might be the opportunity to find a pass to create that chance, but there has been a goal here in Portugal-Spain.
Portugal versus Spain, and it looks like Spain going forward. Neymar on the left-hand side, and it's Ronaldo in the back post, but not with his head, with a volley, but Portugal answered back very quickly. 3 goals in the opening 12 minutes in that matchup. Portugal really showing what they're made of, Mark.
Portugal, after their last gasp heroics to make it out of the group stages and end up top, they're looking good, but one team that's looking incredible right now is Argentina. And what a performance this has been from Yago. That's how much it means at this stage. England on the verge of being knocked out the tournament.
And we've seen that scream from Yago before in 1v1 competitions, the amount of passion that builds up inside of him. And he just releases it on the football pitch. Tekkz really does have his back up against the wall now. But we know how scary he can look when he gets aggressive.
Wins the ball back here. R9 into CR7. So the first time shot there on his left foot. Defensive wall very much been put up now. And having the likes of Nicolas behind you right now for Yago must be absolutely invaluable as far as experience in these situations is concerned. And maybe he's just got to look for a third hit.
I mean, Yago's going for the kill at this point. He notices there's slight gaps in the defence of Tekkz, as naturally he's pushed more players forward to try and get the attack, and Yago wants to take advantage of that. Try and pinch a third goal to really put this game to bed and send Argentina through, but here comes Tekkz once again.
Ronaldo been sent on his way. Neymar into Hullet. Croqueta from Tekkz into R9, bullies Varane off the ball, but the ball is just going to fall loose inside the 18-yard box. Yago defensively has not fallen for any of their tricks so far that Tekkz has had to offer.
And England, who were without a doubt the best team in the group stages with how many points they were able to secure in such a tough group as well, are 25 minutes away from being knocked out of the eNations.
Yago wins it back. Mbappe now inside to R9. Great tackle from Varane. And now Argentina stride forward themselves. There's space out wide for Ronaldo to attack. Digs the ball into the box. Neymar into the middle. And I think that might be the killer blow. But the linesman's flag goes up and saves England's blushes.
I think that just gives time for Tekkz just to take a little pause here, have a little mental reset, have a chat with his teammate Tom, and of course the coach behind them as well. Elsewhere though, Portugal and Spain. Portugal still pressing on and showing what they're made of. Tuga, one of the best defensive players around at the moment, with a 2-goal lead, might be doing enough to send them through to the semi-finals.
Now the penalty incident in this game. Denmark against Mexico. Ronaldo just bundled over in the box there. The penalty was given. You can see the reaction of the Mexican players. Not particularly happy, but having stepped up, it was saved. So no goals still in that game.
Very tense moments in all of these quarterfinals, and it's Tekkz now coming forward. He needs a goal for England.
Ronaldo inside the box, little half track back to create the space for the strike. Save from De Gea, corner here for Tekkz. Ronaldo gets it away. It will fall out of play here. You just feel a goal here for England, for Tekkz. And Yago, he has to start feeling nervous. Modric. Varane will clear back to Hullet. Smart play there from Yago.
Yeah, if Tekkz manages to grab one, that's usually when he builds on momentum and that's when he looks at his best. However, Yago doing very well to contain him at the moment. Speaking of trying to contain a team, France trying to contain Brazil, but they're not able to do so. A nice ball roll from Pelé to equalise for Brazil, and of course Brazil need to win that game. A point wouldn't be enough as France won the opener.
To our other game there, and it was Mexico who made a save from the spot, and they've gone up the other end. And they have taken the lead with a thunderbolt in the near post here from Neymar.
And that's another game. Mexico and Denmark, of course, it's winner takes all as they drew the first leg. So as it stands, Mexico would be going through over Denmark. Back to England versus Argentina. What does Tekkz have left in the tank?
15 minutes left. Great interception there from Maldini, and Argentine fans around the world will be celebrating like a goal every single time that Yago manages to get possession back, because it just means less time for Tekkz to go forward, less time to create the chances he needs. And Yago here might be looking for the third. Ramos will clear the ball away.
Clears the ball, gets it up pitch. Tekkz needs to win this
Big
header,
header
but
from Varane.
still possession for Yago, which means he's always posing a threat going forward, always eating away at that clock, and Tekkz just can't get the ball back in the moment. Argentina and Yago have looked incredible.
Ooh, a little bit wasted there by Tekkz, trying to fire the driven pass into the strikers. And Yago, he can almost taste it. Argentina can almost taste it. But Spain, they're not done yet. Neymar forces the save then. from De Gea back across goal, and R9 will make that just a one-goal game.
A one-goal game that, of course, if we do see an equaliser for Spain, would head us towards 2v2 as well. I mean, aside from the France and Brazil game, every other quarter-final was a draw in the first leg, which means they're all winner takes all. And look at the faces of the two English players there, with very little time left, on their way out of the eNations to Argentina, of all teams.
Well, Mexico took the lead in this game, but the through ball has found Neymar here for Denmark. The cricketer inside, and they've tied it up just before half-time here. But speaking of time, it looks like it's run out here for Tekkz. It's run out here for England, because Argentina and Yago might have pulled off one heck of a result here.
It would have to be from this attack, really, for Tekkz. You saw how he sat back and lumped in his chair, as he's starting to realise now probably isn't coming home. And that's something that I'm sure all English fans are going to be very disappointed about, because there was so much expectations from on these two.
Neymar across to R9, maybe there is a chance the block comes in though. And that is going to be it. Tekkz knows. Yago, you can see him, he's just holding it in at the moment. He looks like he's going to explode with celebration any moment, and there it is, Yago and Argentina will be the first team in our semi-finals.
Nicolas was probably watching, holding his breath, thinking maybe he hadn't done enough, but what a performance from Yago. Not only winning his game, but winning it versus Tekkz, the most informed player of the season so far, the player with the most global series ranking points in the world. England fall, Argentina go through.